Today we're going to learn how to make a jump cut and how to make two shots look like one shot. Alright, so what we're gonna do now is edit the part that you just saw in the intro. So what I have here is the first piece of clip, which I pulled down from up here, and what we have here is our first line of dialogue. Today we're going to learn make a cut. So that is half of our audio, the side that is going to be on the right of the screen. So what we're gonna go ahead and do is cut the clip right there. And now we just have this clip isolated. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to skip forward until I'm on the other side. I think I messed up here one time. How to jump. So right there we have the other piece of dialogue that we need. So let's isolate it by cutting that up a little bit. And we are going to go ahead and splice these together. So let's zoom in a little bit. Now I'm using Final Cut Pro, but this can also be done in pretty much any editing software as long as you know the controls to cut and splice video. So we're just going to cut that out there a little bit. In case any of you have Final Cut Pro and you don't know, if you press B on the keyboard you get the blade tool, which we're going to use to cut up our video. So that's something to keep note of, and let's start by editing. Today we're going to learn. We're going to trim that as close as possible on both sides because we don't want this little bit here in the middle. We'll cut it there also. So basically what we've just done is cut it up so it's nice and close. Today we're going to learn make a cut. So as you can see, that there is basically the essence of a jump cut, except that right now it doesn't really make any sense at all because we haven't finished yet. So let's edit this how-to clip right here. We'll just cut this right out. Like so. There we go. So now we have everything cut out, so we know that this needs to go before cut, and this needs to go before make a. So now our jump cut is complete. Today we're going to learn how to make a jump cut. Now obviously that's a bit of an extreme jump cut. I don't think anyone I know would ever do that in a legitimate video production. But for our purposes, it works very well to demonstrate the purpose of a jump cut, which allows for a couple of things. The first thing is it allows you to have quick transitions between different moments in your video. The other thing it does is it allows you to keep filming without having to start over if you mess up your dialogue. Alright, so now we are ready to move on to the second part, which is combining two shots to make them look like one. So the first thing we're going to do is go and find our video right here. Alright, this is our first clip, and this is our second clip. Now this trick is going to take some finesse. You're going to need to play around with it a little on your own. So what we're going to do is we're going to check out at the beginning where we have our dialogue. And how to make two shots. And then you'll notice the camera starts to pan. So now that's very, very, very important. So what we're going to do is let it pan a little too far, and then we don't need the rest of that, so we can go ahead and chop it off. Now the next thing we're going to do, you'll notice the next shot starts with a pan. So we have a pan going to the left, and then it starts with a pan coming from the left, which is going to allow for a seamless change. So you'll notice here's our other line of dialogue right there. And we're going to cut it a little before we saw the frame in our previous clip. So now what we have to do is basically match up the frames in the middle. So what I'm going to do is use a reference point. So what we're going to do is take a look at this lamp over here. So you can see a tiny corner of my shirt and this light right up in the top corner. So what we're going to do is go ahead and cut it there keeping that frame in mind, keeping the location of that light is critical. So now what we're going to do is we're going to go and we're going to scrub through our video until we find the light in that exact position. I think I found it right around here. So now what we're going to do is go back and forth between the ending of this frame and the beginning of this frame. So you can see I pretty much found it right away. If we go through it a little bit, we can see it's very hard to notice the frame changing. Now the next thing that we're going to do is, because we needed to match up that frame precisely, the panning is very slow. So we don't really want that. So you'll notice when we play this, it just takes forever and ever, and no one really has time for that. Although it does look very cool. So what we're going to do is we're going to go right here at the end of the dialogue, cut it, and then we're going to put our tool right here and cut it there. So whatever you need to do in whatever editing program you use, you're going to select these two clips. And what you're going to do is make one compound clip out of that. You can just click OK. And now these become one seamless clip. I don't even know where the changeover is anymore because it's hard to notice. You can sort of see a change in lighting right over here, but other than that, it's almost impossible to detect where the frame switches from one shot to the other. So the next thing we're going to do is to speed this up. We're going to go up into our modify, retime, fast. Let's go 2 times. That's still a little slow, so we can just drag our slider around 470%, and let's watch our video.
And how to make 2 shots look like 1 shot.
Alright, so you can see the video still needs to render, but overall we've accomplished our goal. We have this shot that transitions seamlessly and excellently into the other shot. So that allows you to have what appear to be 2 people in one frame without having a green screen or some other sort of funky trick that I don't really know how to do or care to do. So these are just 2 examples of really cool things you can do to liven up your videos. I hope you enjoyed. Please leave a comment below any suggestions for future videos you want to learn how to do.